So is it actually affordable to live in Decatur, Alabama? What is the cost of living in Decatur, Alabama compared to the city I'm moving from, compared to the national averages? And how much do I need to make? And how much do people actually make here in Decatur? Hey guys, my name is Richard Graham. I'm with Dean's List Realty in Decatur, Alabama. And today we're going to be doing a deep dive into all the things cost of living here in the area. Now, if you're thinking of moving or relocating to the Decatur or North Alabama area, make sure that you give this video a like and subscribe to the channel, as we have a new video coming out every week and you don't want to miss it. And if you're thinking of making a move to the area, reach out to me. You can call or text, email. I'll have all my contact information in the description below. I'd love for you to reach out. We help people moving out of state all the time. And coming from a military family myself, I understand the headache, the process of relocating to a new area, and that need to have someone there on the inside that can really help bridge that gap. So that's what I'm here for. All right, so let's go right on into the video. So let's just jump right on into the highlights first and then break it down into and looking at the categories more in depth later. So starting off the bat, living in Decatur, Alabama is about 4% lower than the average for the states and about 16% lower than the national average. Now, there's a lot of numbers going to be thrown at you. I'm going to have links to these different resources where I'm pulling this from in the description below, so you can do your own research, your own fact checking, if you will. And I always encourage that you do your own research on the area independent as well. One thing I really learned looking through all this stuff is there is a lot of outdated information out there, and you'll see conflicting things. So it's good to look at a variety of resources to help give you a general idea. In typical, you're looking at this area is going to be less than the national average. We are depending on where you're from, we're not a super small city. We're not a huge city. Decatur has about 55,000 population. And we're essentially a suburb of Huntsville at this point. If you're looking at relocating to the area, we're kind of just, a lot of people in Decatur will work in Huntsville and commute over the bridge to go to there. So a big draw to the south in this area, Decatur particularly, is one of your biggest expenses when it comes to cost of living, which is housing, is a lot cheaper here compared to Huntsville, Madison, and the national average. So right now, and housing, if you're looking at these different things, you'll see quite a range of numbers on what the median household income is, or on what the median home price is selling for is. I'm going to give you stats pulled right from our MLS. April 2023, median sold price for homes in Decatur, Alabama was right about $224,000. It was actually $223,900, and that has kind of flatlined a bit since we've seen this spike in interest rates. We're starting to see the supply chain get back to normal and seeing material costs start to go down. New construction start to happen more where they're not having to wait as long on materials and seeing prices come down. So right now, if you're looking at a new build in this area, there's a lot of new construction, new builds happening out in Priceville, Alabama area, and just right there off of Decatur. If you just go down 67, and new homes in that area, high 200s, 300s, that price range. Here just a couple of months back, we had some builders in Decatur building in the low 200s price range. So it varies. That's what you're looking at for new construction. Of course, that's going to tend to be a little bit higher, but your medium home price still very, very reasonable at that $224,000-ish range. Now, into perspective, the median sold home price in Morgan County is $240,000, and the median sold price in Madison County, which is that Madison-Huntsville County area, is $326,000. So quite a big difference if you decide to make that commute and live just outside. You're getting a lot more bang for your buck. Now, what about rentals? Well, if you're looking at 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartments, the median for this area is high 800s, low 900s, right in that price range. We have seen prices in apartments go up just like everything else in this. Everything's been going up, and apartments have followed suit. Now, if you're looking at single-family homes, renting something like that, townhomes, etc., then you're breaking that 1,000 mark, 1,000, 1,500, and it goes up from there depending on what location you're at. what kind of a house you're getting. But that's kind of just a ballpark for rentals. Still very reasonable, all things considered, when you're looking at it from a national average point of view. So housing affordability is a big draw for this. Next major question is going to be, what are the utility costs? So according to Rent Cafe, the average utility cost for Decatur, Alabama, you're looking about $168 a month. And then, if you're looking at cell phones, you're looking at about $189 a month. Now, obviously, your summer months, July is typically going to be your hottest month here. You're going to see your highest bills. It's the South. It gets hot here in the South. And those costs are going to vary depending on what kind of size house you live in, size of your family, what kind of appliances you have. If you have extra things like a pool outside, that's going to affect your utility costs as well, of course. But that's about what you're looking at for utility costs. Now, the next thing we're going to roll into is going to be transportation costs. Now, we have very little electric charging stations, things like that. So you're going to be not a lot of support for electric vehicles here, especially if you're moving from like California or some cities where that is more in demand. We just don't have a lot of those resources here comparatively, your supercharging station. So you're going to be looking at, and we don't have a lot of public transportation. So you're going to be needing a car, and it's probably going to end up being a car that uses gas. So gas prices, of course, that varies so much, but say a price now, and by the time you watch this, or maybe you see it next week, it could be completely different. But according to the, again, Morgan County Chamber of Commerce, we rank for transportation costs an 89 on that 100-point scale, where 100 is that average. So what does that mean? Okay, right now we're looking at, for a while, we've been right around $3.30 a gallon for your basic unleaded fuel. So that's, and it of course varies. You'll sometimes get below 3, but high inflation environment makes utility costs, you see at the pump, you see those numbers going up and down all the time, but we are, for this area, typically lower than the national average. All right, so moving on to the next line item is groceries. Now, we rank about a 97 out of 100, or 3% below the national average, anywhere from 3 to 8% depending on what resources you look at. That's with how much grocery prices have been fluctuating. We're really close there to that national average when it comes to groceries. When it comes to healthcare, we're looking at, depending on what source you look at, anywhere from 16 to 19% below the national average. So another win for affordability here in Decatur, Alabama area. We're looking at Huntsville, they're about 8% below the national average. So the next aspect of cost of living that we want to look at is taxes. So Alabama has some interesting taxes. The state's sales tax is very high at around 9% sales tax. So that stinks. But on the flip side, your property taxes are a lot lower compared to national averages. And if you're a homeowner, you can claim homestead exemption on your taxes to further reduce that tax burden. Now, a neat thing, if you are retired or going to be retiring soon, and something that my grandparents really looked at when they were deciding, and one of the reasons they decided to move to Alabama, is the tax advantages that the state has off retirement income. So Alabama fully exempts Social Security retirement benefits from income taxes. So Alabama fully exempts Social Security from state income taxes. So those hard-earned retirement benefits, you're not getting that state tax on top of it. Combined with your low property taxes and homestead exemption, that can really help lower your tax bill into retirement. Now, of course, when it comes to taxes, consult with a tax advisor on what the best course of action will be for you. But Alabama, it has a lot of tax-friendly benefits, so something to look at. And you can see all the businesses moving into the area as well, because we are a business-friendly state. A lot of corporations moving. In summary, you're looking at Decatur, Alabama having a being a much more affordable area compared to the national average. You're looking at a win in healthcare, a big win in housing, small win in utilities, groceries, transportation. A lot of benefits, much lower. There's a reason that Huntsville, Alabama was rated the #1 city in the US, and then you're seeing all that benefits of that spreading out to this whole North Alabama area as well. All right, so the next part we're going to go into is kind of looking at income per capita, median household income, and compare it in some of those statistics and stats. So your income per capita is $31,010 for Decatur, compared to Morgan County, $30,412. Decatur is doing a little bit better over the county, and compared to Alabama's average, the statewide of $30,458. Again, Decatur's doing a little bit better compared to state averages. Your median household income is $52,539 compared to $56,128 for Morgan County, $54,943 for the states, and then the U.S. average of $69,021. So a little bit of a loss there on median household income. The unemployment rate is very low at 1.9% compared to national average about 3.5%. And the labor force is 28,000 people actually do here. So of course a lot do commute to Huntsville. Yes, Huntsville typically has a lot of those higher paying jobs, but you're looking at your biggest labor category is going to be manufacturing at about 5,400 jobs, followed by retail trade at 3,500 jobs, thereabouts. And then you have healthcare. There's a lot of nurses and people in the healthcare profession that live in this area. Healthcare and social assistance, you're looking at 3,400 jobs there, followed by 2,200 jobs in construction, 1,700 jobs in accommodation and food, and 1,600 jobs in education. So you have a lot of teachers, a lot of nurses, a lot of people in manufacturing, retail, food. That's kind of what you're looking at for a bulk of where your jobs are. And most people in the city have an average commute time of just about under 15 minutes. Commute is one of those interesting things where if you have those really long commutes, you're paying not only wear and tear on your vehicle and gas, but that's extra cost of your time. So not a bad commute here for the area. 15 minutes, a lot. 42% have commute under 15 minutes, 33% 15 to 30 minutes, and then on from there. So, and again, Huntsville is close by, and a lot of people go work there as well. Looking about 30, 45 minutes, depending on what part of Huntsville. And then topping it off, according to AARP's livability index for 35601, you've got a 49 out of 100 with a 50 being that medium score. So this has been a very numbers-oriented topic and numbers-oriented video. I'm going to have all the links, resources down in the description below so that you can look at them yourself, play with it, see what it's like for moving from your area to this area and how much income you're going to need for that equivalent to keep up your current lifestyle. You'll probably be pleasantly surprised because of how nice the area is. So so if you're looking at making that next step and making that move to the area, reach out and give me a call, text, email. I'd love to have the opportunity to help you find a place to call home here. And don't forget to like and subscribe so that you never miss another video. Until next time, take care.